Hey, yo, what's going on here? Hunter Elliott. And if you notice, the background is different because I'm actually at Candy's house, and we're doing something a little bit different today. This is something Candy had actually taught me into. I'm doing a reaction video to I'm going to call it a gun review that I think was poorly done. Now, I watch a lot of other gun channels on YouTube, and there's a lot of really great gun channels. There's a lot that's better than mine, but I think there's also some where a lot of these folks don't know their ass from third base, and they're kind of phoning it in and faking the funk a little bit, and they're just kind of gliding through what I don't know. But Friday night, I was sitting on the couch with Candy and watching some gun videos, and this particular one popped up on a firearm that I thought was extremely ridiculous, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to watch this and just see. And I'm commenting to myself about different things, and Candy's like, you know, Hunter, a lot of these comments maybe make some sense, or other people would agree with you, so perhaps you should try doing these reaction videos. I've watched a little bit of them. You know, I don't know if if it appears to hitting the easy button to generate content, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to try one, post it up, and see what y'all think. So I'm going to do this one. It's by Kentucky Gun Company, KYGUN Company, and they're doing this Taurus Judge Home Defender range review. And I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to critique it, and I would love your opinion, good, bad, right, or wrong. So without any further ado, here's the guy's intro.
Hey, Patrick with KY Gun Co. 410 pistols, 410 revolvers, 410 Derringers. Those guys have been out for years, actually decades. More recently, Taurus brought out the Judge. That kind of set the world.
Let me stop you right there. The Taurus Judge, I haven't shot this particular Home Defender, but I have shot several of those Taurus Judges, the Smith & Wesson Governor, chambered in 410, 45 Colt, 5-shot, and it is at best a gimmick. I'm not going to take away from the 45 Colt's ability to be a man stopper as far as handgun cartridges go, but 410 shot shells, I've seen some ballistic shell testing done with those, and they are certainly far less than ideal. But we're going to get into some of that as this video plays. So just kind of bear with me. And if you think I'm way off base, there's going to be a comment section below. So love to hear your comments.
410 revolvers. But with all the Derringers and all the revolvers that's been out there, I've never had one this size. This is the brand new Taurus Judge Home Defender. Let me show you a couple features of it, and then we're going to go back here and fire it. First of all, most notably, you see the size. This is a 13-inch barrel, just like all your other Judges. It's chambered in 410 and 45 long coat. This will accept.
So he did say 45 long coat, and I do not want to get on my soapbox of correct nomenclature, but that cartridge is actually called 45 Colt. A lot of people are probably going to throw up their arms in that and say, Hunter, you're crazy, but go to Sammy, see what Sammy's got to say. It is 45 Colt. Whenever y'all are curious about where the 45 long Colt came from, I'll do a video on where that, but for that.
A 3-inch, this has the Magnum cylinder, so it will do 2.5 and 3-inch 410s. It is a 5-round cylinder. The other notable thing that you don't see on any of the other Judges out there,
5-round cylinder.
This does have a pick rail on the front, so you can mount your light, your laser. Again, Home Defender on there. It's designed kind of for the, I guess obviously the home defense style.
And let me stop you right there. Here again, I'm sorry to be stopping this thing. I'm gonna try to get through it as quick as I can. This guy's video is almost 12 minutes. But home defense, really, a 5-shot revolver and 45 Colt 410. I mean, there are infinitely more better options than this damn thing. And the fact that he can't see this is beyond me. But
pick rail does come with it. We have mounted a Trijicon on top of there. The Trijicon is not standard from the factory, but you obviously have a pick rail to mount any of your favorite red dots on it. A nice rubber recoil, absorbing grip. And the other cool thing that this has that your other Judges don't, I'll point it that way kind of slightly towards the camera, it has the blast deflector shields. If you've ever turn it sideways again so you can see them from different angles.
Here again,
concern there being, you have your hand on the forearm. There's usually a little bit of powder, dust, stuff that comes out of the end of the cylinder when you...
There shouldn't be anything coming out of the end of the cylinder other than the cylinder firing the round. This damn thing is covering up cylinders that are not in line with the bore, with the muzzle. So if there's something coming out of that, you got a hell of a lot more problems than this 5-shot 410 for home defense.
You fire a revolver, so that's designed to deflect that away from your hand. Pretty cool little gun, a little different. I called Taurus and I was asking them why they designed this, what was the purpose behind it. First of all, they said just because they can. It's a fun gun, it's going to be a cool gun.
Now, also, let me stop you there. It's a fun gun, it's going to be a cool gun because we can. When I hear that, when I hear somebody say, because we can, it's going to be a cool gun, that screams gimmick. We're doing this because we know it's a gimmick, which is fine. If you want to buy this and take it to the range and knock yourself out, I'm all about it. But, you know, don't try to make me believe that this was built and designed as a, you know, primary home defense firearm, because I was born in the morning, y'all, but it won't this morning.
We will sell quite a few of them. The other thing that you guys are probably not thinking about, the shock waves. You've seen them out, now they're in 410.
Again,
20 and 12
wouldn't be my
gauges,
first choice, those shock waves.
It's kind of designed this to compete with the shock waves. Yes, it is a different setup. No, it's not a pump, but there are some people out there that can't manually use pumps due to some type of mobility issue. The other thing that you guys probably don't know, they make something called a circuit judge. You don't see a lot of them out there. That's because they are one of the most back-ordered items that Taurus has.
The
circuit judge is basically a rifle version of this with a stock on it. Pretty much every one that we get in, they disappear or are already pre-sold before they get here. So they said, heck, if the circuit judge is as popular as it is, perhaps this will be popular too.
Or they could have just took their resources and made more of them circuit judges instead of this damn thing, which I don't know if it's any better or worse, but.
So what we've done, we're going to create a little test. We have some targets downrange. We recently did this with the Rossi Brawler that Taurus and Rossi just came out with. It's kind of a similar gun, but in a single shot version. But we have a variety of different ammunition. We have some double-aught buck. We have some PDX-1s from Winchester. We have some Winchester double or triple-aught buck. And then we're going to start getting into some 4-shot, some 8-shot from Winchester. And then we even have a foreign load. When I say a foreign load, and if you guys watch the Brawler video, you know that I've always said that for some reason, European-made shells seem to have a little problem getting stuck or ejecting cleanly out of the cylinders of most of these revolvers. So we'll try those out.
You know, that would, real quick, like a rabbit, if you're using European, which I don't know what their equivalent to SAMI is, but I'm assuming it's all made, here again, I'm assuming, but if you're having trouble with it, then that would give me pause right there, just for instance.
And we'll test out the patterns. All right, our first load we're going to start off with is the Winchester PDX-1. This has like little plates, little disc in it, and I think it's backed up also by some buckshot.
I think he don't know,
2 shots.
But he
we're going to put
thinks.
all these shots at the same even distance. That's going to be 7 yards. Pretty typical home defense
So 21
distance.
feet. Yeah.
Again, this is called the Home Defender. We're going to do 2 shots on each target, varying up the different ammunition, and see what type of pattern. And I am going to hold it with the forearm, not going to try to one-hand it.
Yeah.
Because I want to see
Don't talk about it,
if we do
man.
get
Be
any
about it.
deflection as far as on the fingers, on the forearm from shooting this. Pretty devastating there. You can easily see in the middle where the discs
it'll
are,
punch
you
a
can see
hole
the
in some
surrounding
paper.
buckshot. This is 7 yards.
That's what you've told me so far.
That's not survivable.
Not survivable.
All right.
Now, 2 things here. He said that's not survivable. Well, if you wanted to prove that to me, you know, at the very least, I would have a table set up with a couple blocks of ballistics gel, or shoot the target and come right off and have some ballistics gel already shot or shot. So show me some more real world example of what this is going to do in a medium. Also, he takes 1 shot, pulls it down, runs his mouth a little bit, and takes the second shot, you know. And that's how he is throughout the video. There's no rapid fire. There's, you know, oh my God, here's 4 folks, boom, 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 boom. It's a very slow fire throughout this review. So
Shells easily come out of the cylinder. Next, we're going to switch to, this is Winchester. This is a 2.5-inch triple aught buck. If you guys are wondering where I found all these 410 shells, we have a secret stash here at KY Gun Co. just for this type of stuff. But really, we keep it in the gunsmith for when we have to test people's problems, guns, or stuff like that. So trying to find 410 right now is pretty difficult. 2.5-inch triple aught buck.
Now watch here. He's going to shoot one.
Winchester.
Just bring it down and shoot another one. And he's single. He's doing single action. You know.
Speaking of which, I'm not getting anything on my hand.
I
Not
feel like
feeling
he should
anything.
be double action in 5
of,
rounds. At least show me how
really
controllable it is.
The blast from something, you know, you usually get a little bit more blast out of the cylinder. You know, if you put your hand in front of a revolver, you're definitely going to feel it, especially if you didn't have those deflector shields. So it's working pretty good. Pattern's pretty decent there.
I mean, at 21 feet, it ought to be.
Again, that's pretty devastating.
But it looks devastating in the paper. I'm sorry.
Grouping right there, pattern. No problem out of the cylinder.
As that matters.
Going on down to the next target. This is third target. Again, we're at 7 yards. The first 3 of these are going to be more of a home defense. Then we'll kind of transition to some different style shot. This is federal. This is also triple aught buck. This is a 2.5-inch load. Keep in mind this.
So what I would like to know is, there's 3 pellets. You know, what do the pellets weigh, and what is the muzzle velocity? He doesn't have a chronograph out there. He's not giving me any information on the ammunition. While I get, you can go and look it up at Federal's website. If he's doing a review and he's showing this defensive ammunition, tell me, you know, there's 3 pellets, each of them weighs X amount, and the velocity out of this length barrel is so-and-so. That's going to give you a little bit better idea of at least how much energy this round is making. So, you know, you would at least have some vague understanding of what it would do.
Will cycle, and we'll accept 3-inch loads. I just don't have any right now in this triple aught buck. You see the bigger hose to the left, and one up really at the neck. That is the wad. That is not the actual buck.
So that's
itself.
showing you this paper has,
again, pretty devastating.
no good medium. The wad is flying right through it.
No problem. Let's transition to some different style shells. All right, now we're going to transition to probably the smallest shot we're going to shoot today. That is a 9-shot. That is a Winchester AA.
So you got some weight there. I think I saw that 12 grains.
I told you guys we were shooting the red dot. This gun does not have a bead on the front of the barrel, so.
No bead on the barrel, no rear sight. So you buy the gun brand new out the box, you spent that money on it, you're going to have to buy some sort of sight, some sort of electronic sight or what have you to mount it. So right out the box, I can't imagine they wouldn't at least put like a little brass bead on the muzzle. I mean, come on, y'all.
I guess you could aim down the channel down the Picatinny rail if you really wanted to. Taurus and all their marketing videos they have coming out currently has it all with a red dot mounted on it, so that's what we would do.
And here's the thing too, you know, this is a home defense gun. They're telling you to mount a red dot on it. Now there's a lot of those red dots that are what they call shake awake, so it's off and you grab it and any movement and the red dot comes on. But they're not all shake awakes. So, you know, if you're unaware of that and this is your home defense and you hear that proverbial bump in the night, and you're fumbling around for this damn thing and you find it, now you got to figure out how to cut your red dot on. So there's not a whole lot about this that I'm digging, y'all. And maybe I sound like I'm being overly critical, and if that's the case, you know, I apologize. But you know, let's continue.
9-shot, 7 yards. Probably have to get a little closer to see that from the camera, but. Shells fall right out of the cylinder. Pretty cool little pattern. Obviously 9 is way too light for home defense.
Yeah, I promise you.
But we did our.
I would like to see, like, if you had some leather and denim, and or if it, you know, how many layers of denim would that go through? If somebody's coming to your front door and he's got on a leather jacket and maybe a heavy shirt, This is all stuff you need. When I do ballistic shell testing, y'all, that's why I shoot bare gel, and I put 3 layers of blue jean material in front of that just to see what the difference is. And believe it or not, a lot of times, any kind of medium that, like blue jean or leather or whatever you put in front of your medium to show the ballistics, the terminal ballistics, it does make a difference.
A Rossi Brawler video just a couple weeks ago, and I was telling
in 21 yards too. Look at how much that thing is encompassing.
Starting to do some turkey hunting with handguns where they are legal. Had some interesting comments. Some of you guys thought that was.
Now look at this mess. This guy here, he shoots a turkey at 4 inches away. Immediately goes into
too easy or
just
not
victory dance. And look at the animal. The damn animal is sitting there flopping around, suffering, while he's got his hands in the air like you shot a turkey with a shotgun at 6 inches. Ray Charles could pull that off, and then he's just letting this animal flop around while he's taking his victory lap. To me, I don't think that's very humane, sportsmanlike. And B, that damn thing wouldn't kill a turkey at 6 inches. Come on.
Turkey with a .410 style pistol. I'd still argue against that. I'd say that's probably some of the more difficult hunting because of how close you have to get to that turkey. You're not shooting that sucker at 50 or 60 yards like your pistol. Your .410, that's about as good of a pattern as you're going to get out of a .410 pistol. If you had TSS loads in there, that would be more than sufficient at this distance to shoot a turkey. All right, this is going to be the only 3-inch load that we have. This is a Remington number 4 3-inch. Happens to be the only 3-inch load I have in stock right now. As you know, if you've been trying to find 410s lately, been next to impossible to find. All right, 7 yards, Remington 3-inch. Good pattern. Shells fall right out of the cylinder, as you'd expect of just about any judges. They have all that stuff worked out by now. Pretty decent little pattern for number 4 shot.
That's
you guys see this hole. You see this. This is
that's
not
encompassing an entire person.
Shot itself. This
you
is
have
the
very little control over overspray.
The wad is the cup that holds the shot inside that shot shell. Little plastic cup. All right, and last but not least, I said if one was going to stick in the chamber, and this is indicative of all 410 revolvers, whether it's the Smith & Wesson Governor, whether it's the various different judges they have out there, the single-shot Rossies, Brawlers, or pretty much any of the single-shot Derringers. Usually a European shell is going to do that. And it's not that the quality of the European shell is deficient or whatever. The shells are just great. They just, for some reason, are just a little bit wider. And they have a little bit of trouble ejecting out of the handguns that I've noticed. So this is a noble sport. I can already tell that this is considerably a little tougher to slide into the cylinder. Doesn't really have to take a little bit of force to get it in there, unlike the Winchester and the Federals that we just fired. And these are this is a 2.5 inch. This is a 6-shot.
Put that thing out there and squeeze the trigger. Load 5 in it. Show me something. It's not.
Again, I'll bet you lunch that these don't fall out. They don't. A little more difficult. I had to put about, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 pounds of force on the ejector rod there to get them out of the cylinder. But they will come out. They just take a little bit more effort. Again, pattern. Not a bad pattern. That's your wad, that's your wad.
And that's...
The new Home Defender is coming out as we speak. They are starting to ship. Like I said, when I asked them why they made this, it's just because they can. It's going to be a fun gun. It's not going to be a gun for everybody. But if you wanted something unique, if you wanted something slightly different in your collection, if you think you have all the judges, well, now you don't. If you wanted an alternative to the Shockwave, or if you've been waiting on one of those circuit judges that you almost cannot get, this could be a good alternative for you. You can find this Home Defender Judge on our website at KY.
I'm going to stop him there because I'm not going to advertise with the guy, and that's about it. So anyway, I've rambled a lot. Now look, don't get me wrong. If this is something you like and you think it's great, by all means, have at it. Take it to the range, have a lot of fun with it, but don't bring this to me and tell me this is a really good home defense, self-defense firearm, because the capacity is greatly diminished. the 410 shot shell is not a proven, man stopper. And maybe that terminology is wrong, but I mean, if you're gonna shoot, if you're gonna do that, why not have a 6-inch revolver and 357 Magnum? 357 Magnum is certainly going to be way more better medicine than the 410 shot shell. Now, if you stick with a 45 Colt, I get it. But if you're going to stick with a 45 Colt, you can certainly go with anything 6-shot double action revolver that's going to be a whole lot less cumbersome, better built, that they had enough sense to put sights on it. So anyway, this is my first reaction video. If you felt like I was too hard on the guy, I wasn't trying to be, but I feel like this one, there's not enough scientific data. I don't know what the trigger pull is. I don't know what the double action trigger pull looks like. He didn't show me, running a 5-shot cylinder through it. I didn't see any kind of test medium, any kind of gel. He didn't shoot any 45 Colt through it. How does that work? What does it group at, at 25 yards with 45 Colt? All that I think would be pertinent information before you could ever even think about using something like this as home defense. So I'm not really dogging the guy so much as, man, that's just really stupid, in my opinion. But anyway, let me know what you think. You think this is worth doing? If you think this is great, man, I'll try to keep doing a couple here and there. If you think, Hunter, this is just a waste of time, then hey, I understand, one and done. Anyway, y'all take care of yourself. We'll see you around.